I thought it was a decent ball, Belmo. If anything, maybe it kind of rolled off my hand a little bit. And we learned in video 1 from Sean Perry, topography, oil patterns. Same stuff you guys are practicing on. All right, so when Jason Balmani, world #1, we're going to get to him, when he gives me some advice about how much I suck, take it with a grain of salt. Because like I said in the first video, it's all about having a good time in the bowling alley. With that in mind, welcome back. It's Barstool Carl. It's your host. This is part 2 of the behind-the-scenes PBA playoff look at all the action that goes into a great PBA event. I'm your fucking host. I'm delighted to be here. It's a huge honor the PBA had me out here. If we go back to the first video, raise your hand if you had a good time. Keep it raised if you learned anything. I'm looking at you. Let's go talk to Sean Perry just one more second. Who knew about these oil patterns?
So you'll see where the dark blue on the right side, we call that hang or a bird wing, and dark left on the left side, the exact same thing. This is a TV pair that they're going to bowl on at 5 and 6.
Woo! Anytime you're bowling in one of Sean Perry's tournaments, you're probably going to want a couple ice cold beers. We also had a chance to meet Don and Cecil on the trailer. Those are the guys that get the balls ready. And all the people that I meet across Barstool, I'll put these two guys up against anybody.
Once the player finishes up with Chuck, he'll come over and they'll fill out a spec sheet, and that will tell me what angles the holes are drilled at, what diameter the holes are drilled at, and how far apart the holes are drilled.
How much do you like your job?
I have the best job on the planet.
Tell him that. Don't tell
Without
me.
a doubt.
Let me be clear. Nothing, and I mean nothing, happens at a PBA tournament without guys like Don, Cecil, Sean, all doing their stuff behind the scenes. So, hat tip to those guys. And that reminds me, if we're talking Don, Cecil, truck, we're talking balls, we're talking Barstool equipment here. Look at this. Balls are for sale. You can check the links in the video below. We got a ball, we got tote bag. Look at the tote, look at the embroidery stitch. I got a surprise for you guys. What are these? Are these air Carls? Yes, they are. I got another treat. Maybe Dad's got a home office. Who doesn't like a little custom bowling pin? We got plenty of options. You guys are suckers if you don't go check them out. We're gonna keep the bowling video rolling, but you guys gotta go check out the merch. It's great. Bowling's here. Barstool Bowling. Moving inside though, let's recall, we're here to talk about the 24 best bowlers in the world. Single elimination tournament for $100,000 on the line. I'm not gonna ask for a graphic. Would be nice if we showed one. These are the faces I wanted you guys to get to know in the second video. Now, if you know anything about golf, there were some major themes there in the first video, right? Like the oil pattern is kind of like reading your green. And you're drilling your ball, you're picking your ball. It's no different than picking out what clubs are going in the bag for the weekend. Well, this is a practice round. And if you know golf, that's when you get access to the golfers. This was my chance to get to know the bowlers. This is my chance to go make some friends. Trust me when I say I had a blast hanging out with these guys. I got a list of characters I want you to meet. We're going to start off with hometown sensation, Chicago kid, up and rising star. You may or may not have heard of him, but it ends now. A.J. Johnson.
A.J. Johnson, the can't-miss kid from Chicago, is getting desperate to prove himself on the big stage, and he's bringing out the big guns at this year's PBA playoffs. This tough guy isn't afraid to talk smack.
You want it? Let's go!
But can he finally put his bowling ball where his mouth is? He's been crushing it in the gym in the offseason, and now his delivery, a combo of ball speed, rev rate, and accuracy, is almost as intimidating as his muscles. One of the top players on tour yet to win a PBA title, Johnson is coming to this year's PBA playoffs guns blazing. This is A.J. Johnson.
I'm feeling good, man. This is kind of had an open mind coming in, but I like how practice has gone so far. Feel good about it.
Early impression, you look amazing. Like a strong guy is a guy who stays put together. We have a saying in Chicago, it's a city of broad shoulders. You brought these out here to Virginia this weekend. The shoulders look phenomenal. Do we have predictions?
You know, I like my chances here. This is it's been a long time coming. I've put in a lot of work. Like you said, you know, I take care of myself off the lanes, on the lanes. So yeah, no, I like my chances here. But one game, you know, anything can happen. It's tough when it's only one game. But you know, we're just gonna put 12 good shots on them and let the rest take care of itself.
Whew. Boy, I'll tell you, I love that young man's enthusiasm, and I know you guys will too once you get to know him. Now, from one unfamiliar face to somebody you guys definitely will recognize. Let's talk to PBA Tour sensation. Let's talk to Kyle Troup.
And with that,
You old sailor!
hey, my father always said I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
But I think it's better to get lucky. Am I right? But seriously, Kyle, thank you very much for giving me that advice. I also want to thank you for giving me the hair pick. Talk about an awesome moment.
I know I look nervous. It's because I am nervous. I was wondering if you would sign the hair pick you just gave me.
Of course, Carl. Anything for you.
Seriously?
With a stash like that, man, I'm gonna do anything.
Could you imagine if you did have a stash? Like, could we do that?
Oh,
Could we put this stash on that face?
fear the fro already. You know, Hard's got the fear of the beard, but
That's because he can't grow the fro.
there we go, baby. So for you,
Number one. Hi, Mom. Let's go bowl.
let's do it.
All right, get ready for this, guys. If I seem excited, it's because what follows is fucking awesome. We get to go under the fro of Kyle Troup on the practice lanes. What do you think about it? How do you pick the ball? What arrows are you looking at? Tell me about the Don Carter 39-foot oil pattern. What goes through all that shit? This is heavy stuff here. Gets emotional a little bit. Are you nervous?
What about pre-shot routine? Do you have a routine you go through?
That's my bread and butter there. I think it's focus on your process and stay in the moment. All right, so we're gonna strike for $100,000, right?
Yeah.
This is the $100,000 shot. So wipe the shoe. I always want to wipe the oil off the ball. That kind of gives you a fresh cover.
Okay.
So you can read the lane the same way. If there's a bunch of oil on it, then it's gonna do it something a little different. Okay. So I'll always wipe it off. Slide my left foot up. Figure out where I want to stand. The most important part is you got to take a deep breath. That's the big thing, and that means go. Flat tap.
Now what happens there? Do you know why that does strike?
Yeah, so what I would probably do, I'm probably a little too far left. So I would probably move my feet 1 or 2 boards down here, as you can see.
Okay.
And then we have 40 boards across the lane. Because you've seen that ball hit and then just deflect.
Yeah.
Kind of hit like a wet potato or a wet pillow type thing. That one was pretty weak.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good representation.
Now this isn't hard for you to pick up a one-pin spare ball, though, is it?
No,
Never.
Definitely not. It's first spare I shot today. I was a little nervous, but
So, what about the fact that when you're throwing a straight ball, you're still spinning it out of your hand?
yeah. So it's still got revolutions on the ball, especially being a two-handed bowler, we have a kind of a higher RPM. But with the cover and there's no core on the inside of the ball, it's just going to glide.
Yeah.
But that's what it's built for. Not to curve very much, because strikes are for show, but spares make the dough.
That's right. Spares
Gotta
make
cover
the
the
dough.
spares.
Now, if you leave an open frame, are you just dead?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
especially when they're a little more difficult. Whenever it's high scoring, an open can kill the game. But the simple rule in bowling, for every open, you need to double for 2 strikes to kind of
2
make
strikes,
up for
okay.
it. So it can definitely kill the game.
Yeah.
It can kill momentum, a lot of things, especially in a head-to-head match, like in the playoffs that
So
we have.
tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. Like tomorrow, the head-to-head match in one game, you can't make any mistakes. You can't miss a spare because that's 20 pins against the best bowlers in the world. Probably not going to work out too good.
So, I'll be honest with you, are you nervous?
I mean, there's always nerves, but it's all about how you handle the nerves. Everybody's nervous. We all want to win, but getting on TV, we don't have the crowd here right now, but still being in front of the cameras, it makes me at home. I feel comfortable in front of the camera, and so I've got some confidence going into the week. I'm bowling great in this center, and I'm a confidence player. If I'm not feeling confident, I'm probably gonna, I don't even need to come into the bowling center. So, that's I feel good.
Just awesome stuff from Kyle Troup there. Probably one of the easiest guys to cheer for on tour. Even if there are some haters out there. Hey, we don't like the fact, Kyle, you bowl with 2 hands. Whatever. If you think bowling with 2 hands is weird, wait till you see my guy Butters. Cut to the wrist.
I heard you have like a double jointed wrist.
Yeah.
Can we see?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks pretty normal, like anybody could bend it backwards, but like, imagine doing that with a 15-pound bowling ball.
I know.
Talk about fucked up. Can we get some slow-mo of Butters like throwing a couple balls? I want you guys to see this in action before we get to the action. Like, look at this. Woo! Butters. You old sailor, you. running low here, having some fun. Now, let me be very clear. There's plenty of ways to throw a bowling ball on tour. No one's out here shaming Butters. Jacob Buttrick, by the way. No one's out here shaming him, all right? There's plenty of ways to skin a cat on the PBA Tour. Where there is one major consistency, though, is Norm fucking Duke. I love this guy. Let's hit you with full Fox highlights.
If there's a face in the dictionary next to the term professional bowler, it's that of PBA veteran Norm Duke. With 40 PBA titles, 2 Player of the Year awards, 73 perfect 300 games, and a spot in the PBA Hall of Fame, this 5'5" right-handed technician defines what it is to be a bowling great. He may be bowling on the senior tour, but don't be fooled. This GOAT snatched 2 wins on the kids' tour, as he calls it, at the ripe old age of 56. This is Norm Duke.
When you've been doing it as long as Norm Duke, you're allowed to have some fun.
Need a quarter. I might fall asleep in here, Norm. It's nice.
Excuse me, that won't work with this.
What's that? Sorry.
I can't use it? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. We're just shooting a video. I apologize. Sorry, guys. We tried, Norm. Hey, that would have been good. That would have been good.
Sincere pleasure hanging out with one of the all-time greats. But also cool to check in with world number 1, Jason Belmonte. This guy's a powerhouse. Every tournament he shows up to, there's a target on his back. I asked him, you get sick of the competition?
I mean, I think the perception is if they're beating me, they're probably doing really well. So it's actually nice to be the biggest target on tour.
I'm sure it is nice, Jason. And to be the biggest target on tour, you got to have a big resume. Roll the highlights.
Belmo. No, that's not like that. It's the Thunder from Down Under, the man who changed the game when he introduced the world to two-handed bowling and started taking titles by storm. What's Australian for GOAT? It's 25 titles, 5 Player of the Year awards, and an epic Super Slam completion. But a PBA playoff trophy is one piece of metal not on our hero's shelf. Will that all change this year?
He's the greatest! He's the greatest!
This is Jason Belmonte.
I want to give you some context because shit's about to get real here. Imagine you're walking around the U.S. Open and Tiger Woods comes up and he's like, hey, under the ropes, did you bring your putter? I want to see you hit a couple putts. I want to see if you're any good. Just like imagine that happening. Pretty sweet, right? Well, when it happened to me, I was fucking prepared.
Yeah, have you had a chance to have a bowl?
I brought my bag, but I was waiting for someone to invite me.
Well, that's very polite of you. I mean, the PBA are pretty nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you brought your ball in, brought your bag, do you have any money?
I knew Balmani was going to be here.
So this is going to be the best tip that I can give you, okay? The game is actually not about knocking over the pin. So your job isn't to necessarily worry about what the pins and the ball are going to do when they hit the pins. So when you get up, I want you to be able to create a more fluid approach. Don't overthrow it. Okay. So what I'm noticing is you're getting, and then you're trying to really throw it down there. Just roll the ball.
Okay, admittedly, I have room to improve. I want to remind you guys, though, I didn't go out there to take bowling lessons. It just kind of happened. The fact Jason Balmani and I are both two-handed, like, you would take advantage of those circumstances. But deep down inside, I felt like I needed somebody a little nicer. Maybe somebody like the All-American, up-and-coming youth of the PBA, Brad Miller.
That wasn't bad. You saw it. Can I roll a ball and ask you for a tip?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
First tip. Try and throw it just slower.
Oh.
Don't worry about speed.
Really?
Yeah.
Just slower.
Give the ball more time to hook.
Okay.
So try that first then.
It would make sense. Someone this nice this calm, this relaxed, could give us just great advice, like throw it slower.
That's But the idea is the slower you throw it, the more you can just control it.
Okay.
So you can, it's easier for you to hit that spot if you're just gently throwing it. But if you're really trying to throw it, it's easier for you just to miss left and right. And all.
Yeah.
Slow down. Yeah. It's like the Chinese finger trap. You got to pull your fingers out. You got to go a little bit slower. I like that, Brad. That's great advice. Hopefully we can apply that in the future. It's pretty fucking awesome. Just hanging out with the PBA guys on the eve of one of the biggest events. I had a blast introducing you guys to my new friends. Tune in next week for behind the scenes look at these guys competing for the $100,000. And trust me, we're just getting to the good stuff.